Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. I'm your host, Big Les. Welcome to the drawing board. Plenty of YouTube content this week. We had 3 videos in the last 3 days that have come out. Origin reactions. We obviously had, I think, another podcast with a Q&A on there. Which teams can win the comp in 2025. If you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and click on that. But this one is the drawing board. We do this weekly. We're going to be going through our SuperCoach side, our trades, changes going into this week, projected scores, and obviously how we think we're going to go throughout the week. So if you're interested in that great content, click down below, subscribe. We still got an Origin review after the game next week. We're going to the game as well, which is awesome. Can't wait. First ever decider. Cannot wait for that atmosphere. It's going to be unreal. But going to the game next week, we'll provide a review for you guys the day after the game. So that's going to come out on the YouTube as well. And then we're going to do a few more of those Q&A type podcasts as well. They're going to come out a bit more, breaking bread with Isaac Issa as well, going through all the latest news, all that sort of stuff will be on the YouTube. So make sure you go ahead and get stuck in. But we're going to tackle SuperCoach today. So our round 17 score, last round score was 1,250. I'll tell you what, it's not too bad with all of the dramas, the Luke Metcalf injury, last week as well. Everything that happened for us last week, I think it was extremely good for us at least to get that 1,200 mark. I know there's a lot of other creators that didn't. I'm just trying to pull up, I guess, a little bit of head-to-head so I can see the player breakdown since we've already made our trades. But we did win majority of our leagues, I believe. There were a few 1-4s in there, which is pretty good. But I think we did very well to get into the 1-2s. 1,250 is pretty good. Had some pretty decent scores in there. We've got some written down here. Jerome Hughes, outstanding performance. He got 113, 116 for Shibasaki, 86 and 88 for Lomax and Herbie, and then Ayongi 86 as well. So we had some really nice scores in there. Terrell May 76, which still, it's good for Terrell May. We can get better from him though. Yeah, so overall a pretty good week. Not too many dramas. I don't think the Roosters had the bye. It hurt us a bit. We have 4 players that are Roosters players, so it did hurt us a little bit. But look, I'm happy. I'm happy going into this week. It is going to hurt a little bit, obviously, with a lot of guys out due to the byes. I think the mistake that I've made this year for SuperCoach is that I've sort of contemplated players playing Origin and made those trades quite strategically, but I haven't really taken the byes into account. And I think that's hurt us a little bit. So I think that's something we do need to take into account as we move forward into the rest of the year and going into next year as well. It's a note that I've got to take, I guess, going into future years of SuperCoach, looking at the buys, especially for next year. Not so much for the year after because we'll have another team in, but certainly for next year, it's a note I'll need to take. But changes going into this week. What changes have we made going into round 18? So we've used 3 trades. We're going pretty skits. At the moment, we have used the 3 trades up. We've got 11 trades left after that as well, which should just be enough for the rest of the year. I'm planning a hold week next week and potentially the week after to, I guess, obviously suit those cravings as well, suit the fact that I've done those 3 trades and just save those trades that I have left for the rest of the year. But here's what I've got. So I've traded out Nico Hines. I just do not like the draw for him. I think the footy that the Sharks are playing as a whole and the dynamic between him and Trindle is hurting his SuperCoach scores. It's hurting his footy. And I just want to get him out now because I just don't rate what we could be seeing from him in the future over the next few weeks. So Hines is out. I've brought in Isaiah Katoa. I just needed to do it. I'm very happy that I was able to do it this week. Yes, obviously, with all of the changes that we've made for this week, it has hurt us a little bit in regards to our cap. We've gone from having 240,000 to 40,000, so we've used an extra 200K for these trades. But it is going to be worth it. Katoa does have the bye this week. I just thought getting him in now would be worth it. And to have him going into next week, him and Hughes together, if they can get similar scores to what they both got last week for the next few weeks, it's going to be extremely worth it. So having them both in there is the go. I've also traded out Luke Metcalf. Obviously, with that ACL injury, guys, you've got to get him out. I've gone for Ethan Strange. I really like the footy that he's playing for Canberra. I think that they are going to be set to be going on a bit of a roll as well. Their footy has dipped off a little bit, but I think that they will start to peak a little bit as we get closer to finals. So Ethan Strange for me is in. I just really like the footy that he's playing, and I had to jump on him as well, especially just with the potential that he's got and some of the projected scores he has for the next few weeks. I just really like Ethan Strange as a guy to hop on. So I brought him in, and then I've traded Sione Finau out, and this is where a lot of my cappers pretty much depleted. Sione Finau's out, and I've gone straight to Josiah Karapani. The negative 28 break even for me, you're going to be making at least 110k from him going into the next 2 weeks. He is an absolute buy now. I think you'll certainly get over that 68 projected score. You'll be making, as I said, at least 110k over the next few weeks with Josiah Karapani in your side. He is a must-buy. He is expensive now for what you're going to get out of him, and compared to a lot of other cheapies, he certainly is, getting into that expensive area, but I think he's certainly worth it. I think that job security is obviously going to be the big thing for Josiah Karapani, but I think that he will be able to keep his spot, and I think Madgen has enough faith in him with the footy that he's playing at the moment to be that guy for them, at least over the next few weeks. So those are my trades. I've traded out Hines, Metcalf, and Sione Finau for Katoa, Strange, and Karapani. I think in all 3 of those trades, I've won the battle there. That's for sure. So what are the changes that we've made for this week? So Ethan Strange comes straight into the starting side. Lachlan King Tonga is on my bench. He is in my purple jersey this week as well. Katoa obviously not playing this week due to having the bye. He's out. All of the para players are out as well. Samrani, who I wasn't going to play this week anyway, and Lomax, he's obviously out. That's going to hurt us a lot. Herbie Farmer's also out. That is going to suck. Watson, Haas, Carrigan, they're out due to Origin as well. So we've got Corey Horsburgh going into the starting front row. Our starting back row is Kikau, Kalamatangi, and Hugo Savala. Purple jersey, we've got Lockie Hubner. Purple jersey, we've got Loka Pacifica Tonga. He is coming off the bench, obviously, for the Dragons this week. I think that he'll be okay, though. And then that's pretty much it for purple jerseys, because Shibasaki's there, but he won't be playing this week, so his score won't count. So that's what we're looking at this week in regards to our side and the changes that we've made. Obviously, Herbie and Lomax are out, so Mark Nwangani, Tuase, Ewan Aiken, Karapani and Jed Stewart are my backline. Tedesco is fullback and captain with a projected score of 92. Yongi's out due to the bye, and Pappenhausen is my flex this week. Bit scared about Pappenhausen. I'm a little bit scared. He did get 48 last week, bringing him into the side. It's just not really what I want to see from him. I'm just hoping that last week was a set and forget, and we can get a big score out of him this week. But those are the changes that I've gone for going into round 18. The projected score is pretty shit. It's 975. I think I'll smash that with some big performances from some of the guys not playing Origin. Like some projected scores here from Starling and Horsburgh. They're in the 50s. I think they'll get at least to the 60s or the 70s, or at least one of them will anyway. We've obviously got guys here like Hughes with 65, Strange with 68. I think that those guys can smash those. Ewan Aiken 45, I think that he can get over that. Jed Stewart, if he scores a few tries, he can get over his 30 projected score. He's also got a negative 22 break even as well, so we love that for us. And then Pappenhausen, hoping he gets over that 42. That's going to be key for us this week as well. That's our SuperCoach side to go, though, guys. As I said, we have lost 200k in the cap, but I think it was all well worth it for the guys that we've brought in, and especially going into the weeks where we have everyone back. Our side is going to be absolutely fucking stacked. We've still got Watson, Haas, Carrigan to come back into the side, Katoa, Farnworth, Lomax to come back into the side, Shibasaki to come back in, Yongi to come back in. We've got a really nice, well-rounded team, and especially once all the buys are sapped from this team as well, we can really start to kick on and get some really nice scores going into the back end of the year. There you go, guys. That is the drawing board for this week. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube, become a part of the Big LEZ'S League community. As I said, plenty of Origin content coming, obviously leading into Origin, the preview and review. We've got a bunch of Q&A content coming in the future as well. We have also got Breaking Bread with myself and Isaac Issa discussing all the news. This show, the drawing board. And then, look, if there's any content suggestions and things that you guys want to see, that'll be on the YouTube as well. I've got interviews on there as well, guys, that we did last preseason, all of the season previews for this year. I know that they're pretty irrelevant now since we're halfway through this year, but interviews with guys like Dan Nilso from What's New in the Castle. We obviously had as well on the podcast the Cast Patrol boys as well. Those guys came on. We also had... who else have we got on the podcast? Rennie Matua, Elijah Taylor. We've had interviews with those guys as well. Those interviews are sick. Tom Yeager's also come on the podcast, bit of a personality there. So plenty of real good interviews on the potty, so make sure you go ahead and get stuck into all of that fun stuff. We will see you guys in the next one.